So episode 2 of Lower Decks premiered, and I didn't really like this episode as much as the first one. What can I say? I thought it was kind of crazy that Rutherford would consider a different career line in order to spend more time with his girlfriend, but I liked how they showed him, I liked somewhat how they showed him doing these different careers throughout the ship. I would have liked it better if they had given him, say, a week doing each thing. That probably would have been more than one episode, though. I do find it, I found it a little bit interesting that the only other department that he was successful at was the one where his implant allowed him to be successful in what was clearly exaggerated situations. I thought that the portrayal of the supervisors in those areas was a little strange. I mean, the first one, when he seemed to be angry that his stellar engineer, wanted to leave engineering, it was, and then it turns out that no, he's happy for him, that he's not where he wants to be, and he's thinking about pursuing different careers. I think that was actually was kind of a good spin, but when they did it the second time, you knew it was coming. So that's and I think that they did it with security. Tried to make it fresh, but it wasn't. I mean, you knew it was like, oh, he's gonna be mad, but then he's really gonna be excited for him. I felt like it kind of was gonna show the different supervisors, but really it's just showing they all have the same take on it, which is they want their people to advance in their careers as best as possible. I thought that the differences in the way Boimler and Mariner handle situations, it was just like the first episode, except that Boimler was going a little bit too much by Starfleet code, especially when they entered, I think it was when they entered the bar, and he immediately thought that there was some violation of Starfleet code going on, without waiting to see, what's really happening here, or at least inquiring about what's going on, and just shooting first, asking questions later, which I guess that's kind of like a Kirk move. But Kirk was much more advanced and higher ranking at the time, so not really a Kirk move. Hopefully we'll get some more of Tendi in the third episode. It seems that they're showing us. It seems that with Rutherford and Tendi, they were just showing us a date in the first episode, and then now they've probably been seeing each other a while, since Tendi was fine watching this I can't remember what it was called, but she was fine watching that from her tablet in the engineering tubes. So hopefully we'll get more of her job, her career, what she's doing in the third episode, and that'll be balanced with Boimler and Mariner. And I say that because the second episode seemed to be Rutherford balanced with Boimler and Mariner. I do think it's good that they're showing part of the reason why Mariner doesn't follow the Starfleet codes is because she's been around. She has clearly seen. She says this, and it becomes pretty obvious that she has been. She's seen many more things than your average Starfleet ensign. Most likely because her dad is an admiral and her mom is the captain of this ship. So she had probably traveled the galaxy with them in some way, and been able to get experiences that, like I said, your average Starfleet ensign hasn't been able to get. And this is being kept from Boimler for whatever reason. Obviously, I don't expect her to reveal her entire family story in the first episode. That's they'll lay it out episode by episode. I thought it was kind of strange that Mariner didn't know what a Ferengi was or what they look like towards the end of the episode, but I think it was nice that you get that payoff at the end where really she was just trying to help bring up Boimler's self-esteem a little bit and make him feel like he was a success, because he was starting to feel like he was nothing and that he shouldn't even be in Starfleet. So I thought that was a sweet little moment at the end there. I thought the parts with Mariner and the Klingon were just over the top and unnecessary. It felt like every time they were in a situation, it was just, how can we make this more and more ridiculous and just over the top. And I thought that Lower Decks took place in the timeline past Federation alliances with the Klingon Empire. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that they were talking about certain time periods in the first episode as if they took place in the distant past. I would have to look at the timeline to be certain on this. But the way they were acting in the second episode was that there was no treaty with the Federation, and so they needed to be much more polite and peaceful than they should have had to be. I still think it's strange that CBS isn't releasing the entire season all at once. I almost feel like they're trying to rope people in and get people to keep their subscriptions in order to keep watching the show. Maybe that's just me, but it's got kind of that feel. Maybe they don't think it's a strong enough show to hold people there and bring people in, so there's like, well, if you want to watch the whole show, you got to stay a subscriber for at least a couple of months. Because the other shows I've seen on there, the other original shows, which I'll talk about in another video, but like Twilight Zone, Picard, I have not watched any of Discovery, but Twilight Zone and Picard were really good. You could binge watch them in a day, maybe 3 days for both seasons of Twilight Zone, but they were all really good. So far though, I think it's too early to tell if the series is going to overall be not very good versus being good and funny. It's the second episode, so there's bound to be some bad episodes in there on occasion, and this is hopefully one of them. So anyway, that's all I got for this review. If you like this video, be sure to hit like, and make sure you hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you get notified of future videos. And we'll see you in the next one.